I'm a bad motherfucker.
Wow. Okay, now to Tucker. Leading story, now to Tucker.
All right.
So this is Tucker 25 years ago while he worked for Bill Kristol and the neocons at the Weekly Standard with his E. Michael Jones, Bill Nye the Science Guy bow tie. Fresh-faced Tucker Carlson
Weird.
on
He was a
C-SPAN.
weirdo back then.
Oh, he was so lame.
Still is.
Once a shill, always a shill.
I mean, this is part of the sad thing about Pat Buchanan, as far as I'm concerned. And just to restate, I mean, Pat does raise issues that I think are important. I mean, I think that, the sovereignty of the American military, et cetera, I mean, these are not just crank issues. But unfortunately, Pat Buchanan raises them in a way that I think is discredited. And when attacked, he can always fall back on the line, well, the tiny cabal that controls American politics doesn't like me because I speak truth to power. This is actually, incidentally, almost...
Yeah, the Israeli lobby and the Zionist lobby doesn't like when you call out Zionist.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's just a tiny cabal, a Kabbalah. Already running cover for Zog right here.
Verbatim what he said the other day, that I offend the plutocracy, that I'm a wanted man.
More like the Ziocracy, right? Am I right? The Ziocracy?
And
the Jew cursocracy?
by the inside the Beltway people, and in every sense cast himself as a victim who is sort of a Karen Silkwood of politics, someone who's so truthful that he's being hunted down by the conspiracy that runs Washington. I mean, it's all a bit much. Maybe Pat Buchanan just says things that are kind of kooky, and that's why he's being criticized. It's perfectly valid to
Yeah, he's just getting attacked by the Jewish lobby because they don't exist, and he's a kook.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but it was true. He was speaking truth to power. Like literally the people who are in power, he was telling the truth about them and being attacked for it. And then Tucker's out here saying, you're poor you.
Trump was running around on the media also attacking Pat Buchanan as well, who was like an anti-Israel Republican.
Yep.
And Trump was calling him an anti-Semite and a Hitler lover and a Nazi and stuff too. And Tucker was. And now him and Tucker are like the new, we're the new based, our guys in the right wing. Oh, he goes on Joe Rogan and the UFC. They're so cool. They're at UFC. Tucker equals CIA shill, says Alkamatron.
question America's relationship with Israel. Israel has a lobby. It's perfectly fair, as far as I'm concerned, to beat up on Israel's lobby.
Fair.
But I don't think that's the reason that Buchanan is being labeled an anti-Semite. It's this kind of, as I've said, this relentless.
This is the Jewish trick that they always do. Oh yeah, sure, it's legitimate criticisms, but you're only doing that because you have a secret, deep down hatred of Jews for no reason. That's what they always have to do. They always spin it into, oh, it's really for no reason. You may be right about all of this, but it's just because you secretly hate them. For no reason.
This relentless bringing up topics related to Judaism. I mean, famously.
Judaism. Now he's running cover for Judaism. And I doubt Pat Buchanan said anything about Judaism.
Pat, always beats up on Goldman Sachs, but never Morgan Stanley. I mean, it's really hard to... There is no point at which Pat Buchanan has held a press conference and said, I really don't like the Jews. I think they're a sinister force in America. But I think...
That would be base.
It took me years to come to this.
Just kidding.
To this position. I mean, I'm not throwing the term anti-Semite around. But you reach a point when you say, well, gee, here's a guy who has gone out of his way to defend Demyanyuk and other accused Nazi war criminals, who's constantly attacked Israel, who's attacked American Jews for supporting Israel unduly, who's implied that American Jews push America into wars in which non-Jews die.
What year was this? 25 years ago? So before 9/11. Before 9/11. Tucker says that he regrets supporting the war on terror now. But this was him running, shilling for them right before it happened, which they did all push for wars for Israel shortly after this.
There really is, and again, I'm not hysterical on this subject, but I do believe that there is a pattern with Pat Buchanan of needling the Jews. Is that anti-Semitic? Yeah. I mean, after a while, you conclude it is, in some sense, anti-Semitic. I mean, Pat Buchanan obviously has a lot of personal and affectionate relationships with people who are Jewish. So on a personal level, perhaps he's not, but on a different, maybe thematic level, I think he probably is. I think that people should be allowed
thematically.
Thematically.
On a thematic anti-Semitic level. He
Yeah,
likes Jewish individuals.
Yeah.
He has Jewish friends and everything. He's like, doesn't hate Jews on an individual basis, but he has like there's some theme that he's sensing with Jews and power structures and talking about that, consistently. I think that's anti-Semitic. Jews have every right to, sort of like seek after, power and other lands. After all, Jerusalem's the center of the universe, as we all know, and it's like, I don't want to get the Jewish curse, so it's like, Tucker's so fucking weird. You ever notice he does that laugh?
Yeah.
No. He's so weird.
It's all such a scam. He probably really is CIA. When he interviewed Putin basically like alluded to that he really was 100%. CIA.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, who do you think? Yeah, exactly. He gave him that little wink, that little nod right in front of everybody. Yeah. And now he's pushing the alien stuff and hanging out with
Alex Jones. Like Alex Jones is his top guy now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bring views on
finish it.
Immigration. I think people should be allowed to point out the fact that there is an Israeli lobby, and yes, it's powerful, and debate the merits of that. I guess. I don't think there's.
I guess no. That's a very clear yes. We are able to do that.
Strictly speaking, anything wrong with that? But again, I think Pat Buchanan is part of the reason it's so hard to have that conversation, because he discredits it by his presence, because he gives people who watch him carefully the sense that he has another agenda that.
It is true that some people that do talk about these things do discredit it. So I don't know everything about Buchanan. Maybe he did do some sketchy stuff, and he has a point here, but because this part in a vacuum is true, that you can discredit legitimate criticism by acting a fool.
Has to do with personal dislike, and that he believes in conspiracies, and that he believes that the Jews are this sinister, secretly organized force trying to affect American politics. And those aren't.
It's
not secret. It's in our faces.
Imagine thinking that. That's insane.
Imagine thinking Jews want to affect American politics, like anti-Semite.
He must be just some hateful, tinfoil hat, anti-Semite with hate in his heart. It's just crazy.
It's not like, okay, it's over 2 decades ago, but still, he's an adult right now. He's an adult working for the Weekly Standard on C-SPAN and saying all this shit. When it mattered, too. This could have changed the trajectory. All the people along the lines doing this is unforgivable.
Personal dislike, and that he believes in conspiracies, and that he believes that the Jews are this sinister, secretly organized force trying to affect American politics. And those aren't discussions I think normal people, sober people should be having, because I think they're ludicrous.
Ludicrous. Yep. He's ludicrous. From 1999, Bill Kristol, who pushed so hard for the war for Israel, right? This is how good my memory is, okay? Look at this. I was trying to find this Pat Buchanan video to show you right now, and just right now I was like, what did I say when I retweeted that? And it was, I've never seen this, and I advanced searched that and found it. Luckily. But check this out. Here's Tucker Carlson. This is Tucker Carlson in 1999. There's Tucker. These guys were radicalized by Tucker Carlson. That says Buchanan steals David Duke. Buchanan equals Duke without the sheets.
Is that a bunch of Jews running up on the stage?
Yeah, it's Jews. Look. Look at the small hat. Small hat detected.
What the hell? He's a racist.
Calm down,
Buchanan is a racist. He's racist, everybody.
This crowd that came
They don't want to affect politics, though. They're only storming up on stage for a presidential candidate.
Earlier, nothing's going to stop us from going forward to a new era of greatness in a new century about to begin, and we can go to that era of greatness if we go forward together. So to these ends.
Okay, we don't need to hear the rest. And
if I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle-diddle-diddle-digga-digga-diddle-dum, all day long I'd diddle little bums. If I were a Shmuley man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish Shmuley man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate shitty coffee? I, for one, really hate shitty coffee, which is why I'm excited to introduce to you a company that's revolting against shitty coffee, and it's called the 1775 Coffee Company. Now, I haven't had it yet because I only drink decaf. Steph has had it. Steph, how do you like it?
I really like it. I've been, you know what? I have a French press, and so I've been using my French press and totally enjoying it. It's delicious. It's smooth. It's smooth.
So 1775, the world awake. In 1775, the world awakened to a new era. And now it's 1775 Coffee Company is bringing you a coffee that embodies that revolutionary spirit. Crafted with passion and precision, our beans are ethically and exclusively sourced from the finest coffee beans farms of Bolivia. Didn't know that. 1775 Coffee Company's farm-to-cup journey ensures the highest quality of authenticity and sustainability from start to finish. With each sip, your palate will recognize and appreciate the dedication and passion that goes into crafting this single-sourced brew. 1775 Coffee Company takes pride in offering customers a truly exceptional coffee experience with their premium coffee collection. But their dedication to this revolution extends beyond the realm of taste. Safeguarding freedom of speech is critical right now, which is why 1775 Coffee Company has joined forces with Rumble in defense of one of our most fundamental rights, freedom of speech. Coffee that's sure to awaken all your senses, including the sense of freedom. So choose 1775 Coffee by going to 1775coffee.com/litter. That's LITTER, and use the code LITTER for 10% off the checkout on your first order. 1775 Coffee, brewed to perfection, crafted with revolution.